Alright, hello everybody, and as always, welcome back to the Lich's Archives. Today is episode, what is it, 22, 23, 20 something? Episode 22. Fantastic. As always, you guys can see when I'm checking my notes, is I blow my face off. In a not weird way. Anyways, we're just going to get started into this as, not much else to do. Thank you for joining us today. So, last we left off with our oh so wonderful group of heroes known as 1inflict heroics. You guys have been at Fapon now for 2 days? Got into a couple of shenanigans here and there. The most notable things being that Shalashar has received a couple of messages throughout this journey from a Lich of some sort of caster that's been able to reach him from far distances and apparently affect the weather, who keeps asking for the return of something they took, some amber prison that seems important to him. Shalashard, however, getting tired of these messages, told him, stop it. It's been destroyed. Leave it alone. And with that, you also crept up into the tower, Shalashar, of this spire.
I crept up into the How fucking dare you? I was kidnapped.
Well, no, I'm talking about exploring the spire. Finding
okay.
Why it's called the Grumpy Hornets. Yes. The oh-so-lovely ale house, which makes their own ale. But for that, they need honey, and now you know why it's called the Grumpy Hornet. Besides that, you were also accosted by a wizard, having ran around for a little bit. You went to a blacksmith with Cole, got him a new fancy tail spike, which needs to be retrieved at some point, and then looked further into what's going on with this weird pond in the center of town. While you were doing that, though, Assi and Arod, you guys instead took off on your own to do a little bit of reconnaissance and figure out what is going on with Bola in this place called the Cavity. On your way there, you ran into two orcs that you might have heard mention of, but you're really not too sure as you didn't look too far into it. But nonetheless, you did meet Maz, who is an older orc, seems to be some sort of medicine dude who has all sorts of jars and other things on him. He's covered in different tattoos, markings, emblems of all the other clans, and Tharuk, who seems to be
from the stone totems. I've been taking notes.
Yes, from the stone totems. The two of them briefly traveled with you guys towards the cavity. When you got there, it turned out to be a sort of town that was set up. The cavity itself, or the fort, the stronghold, whatever it is built into the side of a relatively small mountain. You know, it's more like a cave with some walls in front of it and a couple of structures. Beyond that, there is a small little gathering area. I don't really want to call it a town. There's not really any structures there besides like lean-tos, little bits of like cloth from one tree to another, and a couple of posts hammered into the ground here and there to mark various structures that might be there for a while, might just be there for a little bit. And as you were there, you put your horses off to the side, had a run-in with an orc at some point who just briefly mentioned there'll be an address today, told you can leave your horses there, that's fine. And you guys were indeed there for Bolar's address when he finally did show up. Showing up in force with quite a few other people from this stronghold. The only armed individuals you actually saw in this entire place. Archers showed up, a couple of guardsmen, and they were all there to behold Bolar's speech. From what you gathered from that, he made it clear that they intended to stay for a little bit, and they are gathering numbers. Orcs are supposed to be coming from other tribes and meeting at this point, and from there they plan to push east towards the shore, specifically naming the Sea of Serpents once again. While this was going on, though, Shalashar, you were indeed, as you said, abducted, walking upon the watery surface of this pond. You were scooped up by telekinesis and interrogated by Zap, the wizard. During this interrogation, though, you lied to him. You led him astray. Something pinged on him and he didn't believe you from that moment forth. This meeting started going sour rather quickly. Threats started flying, several spells were cast at you to try to contain you, and you reached out to Jandar, the mayor of this town, to come do what he can. The last thing that ended up happening to conclude this impromptu meeting was you were instructed to leave a book that you produced, trying to show your innocence. It was the logs that Matthias gave you that marked who your group was, had all of your notes, and you needed to present for payment of any sort. You were instructed to leave that on the ground and to abscond and to be gone. Jandar cautioned you and said, look, if he wants it, he can have it, just let's get out of here. And the last thing that happened is you guys exited this tower and returned once more to the Grumpy Hornet. Broderick was there to greet you with an open letter in hand, handing it off to you and telling you to follow him, basically. He gave you an open invitation and you said, no, we're good to go now. We can talk about this, we can deal with it, let's go. And that is where we are beginning, with Kor and Shalashar. At this point, it's later in the day, getting close to about 7 p.m. The sun just starting to drip down as you guys are brought up the spiral staircase of this spire, bit of a tongue twister, and brought across to one of the other spires, one of the ones you haven't been in yet. It is going to be the barracks. Broderick, his frame takes up the majority of this staircase as he just starts leading you guys up higher and higher to this place. Once in a while, just glancing over his shoulder and making sure you guys are following. Eventually, he opens his office. The door swings open. And he turns towards you and he goes, alright, this music is too loud. That's the first thing he says. Alright.
I can't hear my own. I can't even fucking hear my own thoughts.
Throws a book at the bar across the room.
Yeah, shut up! He takes you into the bar leaves, rubbing his head. In this office, it's nowhere near as nicely furnished as Jandar's. It's actually very, very simple. Unlike Jandar, who had a giant window in it, same with the one of Zap that you were absconded through, this one is just bleak metal walls. The only things that adorn it is mostly giant, well, not one map, but a couple of maps. One of Char, one of the world, and then one of actually the surrounding area. Very similar to the one that you gave Cole. You know, it has a little bit of topography on it, not much. Besides that, there's a desk, a couple of the furnishings, and, well, most notably, what seems to be a little work table, and he has quite a few things strewn across it. He looks around, doesn't really have any place for you guys to sit, and he's going to cross the room, pull out a couple of stools that he had tucked underneath this workbench. Definitely doesn't seem like he holds meetings in here. And with that, he greets you guys fully and goes, please, take a seat.
Alright. I'll look down at Kerr. Do you need a hand up onto the stool, or...?
No, I'm not that small.
Alright.
Big people, jeez.
I'll take a seat and just kind of like brush my cloak off.
Now, where's the other two of you? We waiting for them?
No, they're up in the cavity.
Okay. I won't ask too many questions, but that letter of yours, now, just to be clear, what exactly do you think you can do to accommodate the request made within it?
Honestly, I don't know much about Bowler. That was left up to my other compatriot. I mean, if it's just a matter of killing someone, as long as there's not 50 guards around, we should be able to accommodate it.
Well,
we can figure something out.
Well, as I said, I brought you here for a reason. You probably don't need to sit for this if it'll be a quick meeting, but he goes back towards the workstation, and he actually pulls open a couple of drawers, pulls out a key, walks over to one of the bookcases, moves a couple of things over, and pulls out a decent-sized box that was hidden within this bookcase. Puts the key in it. You guys hear this thing ticks and kind of looks over his shoulder at you guys. Gets back to work and eventually comes back. What seems to be a large orb with some sort of handle around it. It seems almost elven in make. And so I'm just set this down on the workstation and I'm gonna point towards it. I wanted to give you that to help with whatever it is that you need to do. So,
Can I ask what that is?
well, I'm getting to that. One, it's very expensive. But what it will do, once a day it's able to put out an invisibility field, to be quite frank with it. Once a day, whoever touches that, about half an hour, sometimes an hour, has a little bit of wiggle room here. Whoever's holding it will be invisible until they let go.
So, sorry, it's not. So it's a half hour or an hour of invisibility as long as you're holding on to it.
To anyone that's holding on to it. You can cloak
So it
up
can
to as
affect
many
more.
hands as you can get on the thing.
Okay, that's interesting. Even if you grab the handle surrounding it,
You need
correct?
to hold the handles, to be clear.
Is there an activation for it? I'm not much of a
There's
caster
an
myself.
activation for it. That's how you turn these things on. And I'm willing to give that to you, but I just need, a couple of guarantees on your part.
Of course. What
Now-
do you need?
Well, first thing that happened is those two that ain't here, you want to say something, but they stopped you. I want to know what that was. Second guarantee I need from you is I need to know that you're actually going to get this done. Now, I don't really care if I get this thing back or not. It would be nice. But if you need certain terms, I am willing to accommodate. But I need those two guarantees up front. What do you know about this thing? This thing being Bola.
I know he's an orc. I know that he has some pretty deep ties. He has some pretty deep ties to the criminal organization. I know that there's sort of a fanaticism with the vicars. I was actually talking to one of the mercenaries, and there seems to be some sort of plan. There's some inherent fascination with the vicars that I believe they're going to try to exploit, or honestly, I'm not certain. That's kind of the point where we need to dig a little deeper.
Is that where your two went off to?
I guess it comes back to the meeting. The one with tattoos.
Yeah,
He used to run with Bowler.
I'm well aware.
He ended up leaving when things with power changed around a little. They were hoping to sneak in, remain fairly undetected, but seeing he had some ties to him before, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say he was looking back into things. They were trying to get more information on it.
Okay.
Getting this letter now kind of puts us in an odd situation because the cavity is not very close, and now we need to go and try and catch up with them. I'm not certain if Boulder's going to be there for long, if we have time to make it to him, but we can't really afford to sit around and wait.
Well, as long as, sounds like you are going to be getting into this, put a time frame on this. If I don't hear anything from you guys, about a week, I want to try dealing with this myself somehow. I think week is more than generous to allow you guys your chance at this. Now, it is important that you do not tell Janda about that orb, where it came from if you're caught with it. You remember he did say he didn't want nothing hasty done. So if you're caught with that or things go south, I had
Swallow
nothing
it?
to do with this. What was that tiny lizard creature?
So if we're caught, swallow it.
Her?
You
No.
get that thing down your throat, go for it.
We found it on the mountain. We found it in the caves that we walked through. I think that... No, that sounds like a bad idea. That would
Don't
tear
forget-
you apart.
Don't forget, we can communicate with them too.
Yeah, that was going to be the next thing.
I've taken up more than enough of your time, and as I said, I don't really want you being seen leaving my office here. So, who's taking the orb?
Want to take it, or should I?
You seem to be better with magical thingies, or at least more comfortable with them.
Magical thingies. Alright.
Thingies, you know, it's a technical term, like thingamabobs. Whatchamacallits?
Thingamadoodads.
Who's it?
Who's Alright. He's gonna go over, he's gonna pick this thing up from the table. He's gonna hand it over to you, Shalashar. This thing, by the way, just so you're aware, it's probably about 15 pounds when you're holding it, and it's probably about almost a foot in diameter.
Oh, that's a big bitch.
Yeah,
She's
It's big, and then on top of that, you also have the handles, which adds like another 6 or so inches all the way around this orb.
Yeah, that was bigger than I
Jeez.
thought.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
like it's hefty, right? Like you guys will need to hold this thing as long as you're casting it. It does have 1 charge per day, and when you do it, I'm going to make a roll, and it'll either last for 30 minutes to half an hour. Sorry, 30 minutes to an hour.
I like those odds.
Me too. But you do need to say the activation word.
What's the activation word?
I could let you set it if you want to come up with something, or I can tell you what I have written. What do you prefer?
The first thing that came to my mind was goat cheese, so I think yours is going to be infinitely more philosophical or magical.
Well, I suggest you write it down.
Pudding.
It's just shine.
A shine?
Shine.
I like goat cheese more.
A shine or shine?
Shine.
Just shine. Okay.
Just shine. He hands it over to you. He's going like, alright, I'm gonna go get that door for you. And again, I appreciate your time for talking, but if you get caught, I had nothing to do with this. And if you need help, there are other mercenaries in town that are also looking into this contract. But,
You presumably, before we go, you presumably read the letter, correct?
of course I did. You guys were holding information. I gotta know who's in my town.
Matthias would like us to head to Black Hollow after it's done. Black Hollow is not quite near here.
No, it's east.
So, what would you like to do in regards to getting the orb back?
Drop it by on your way back, or make it disappear. You return it, I'll give you some gold for it.
We'll see what happens, and we'll do what we can to return your orb. We can't guarantee anything. Things might go south. But if you don't hear from us in a week, we're dead.
Ah.
So it doesn't matter anyways.
I'm just hoping even if you do die, that bastard's dead too. That's problems for me.
Mutually assured destruction is oftentimes the best way to go.
And it's best when I'm not the one being destroyed. He's gonna open the door.
Alright, Kerr. Grab on and hold the handle out to you. Shine.
With that, you guys disappear. But it's odd because you either gotta hold it low or Co's gotta like put his hand up.
I'll just hold it down.
Just hold it down. Alright. And where would you like to go?
As we're like slowly making our way down the stairs, I'm gonna try and keep my voice low. But do you have anything left in the tavern?
No, I got all my stuff with me.
All right. We are going to. We need to head up to the cavity. We can't let. This is very time sensitive. So we're gonna get Mr. Fluffykins. That name feels bad in my mouth. We'll hit the stable. If you need to grab any rations, we'll probably head out of town.
Blacksmith.
Yeah. Anything last minute that we need. But
Yeah,
we
I
need to
could
do it
use
before curfew.
Yeah, blacksmith, and I could use a bit more rations, since I don't know really how long this is gonna take.
All right. The blacksmith is in the marketplace. We can grab rations there. Then we'll head down to the stable. We just need to be out of town pretty quick. All right. And then we'll head to the blacksmith.
Alright. Easy enough, you know, make your way there, creeping along the bridges to the other spire, not so far away. Let me just double check something. Do-do-do-do-do. Alright, so you have a choice. It's a bit of a long way to go, so you could cut through Zap's tower, or you could go the long way around.
For the tower, why not?
I don't want to get finger blasted by some old dude.
What, scared?
Yes!
Now, I will.
The man has piano player fingers. It's like a sounding bar.
Right. It might be closed by the time you get there, though. Just so you are aware. You get, like I said, it's getting late. Curfew's at about 8.
Double time
Well,
it. Dog.
Dash. We'll let go of the orb. Like once we're free of his tower, we'll just take the dash action to the fucking.
So you guys are just sprinting through the other towers as fast as you
Yes.
can.
I'm not going to that fucking psychopath's goddamn place.
Alright. You will make it there in time to get your rations. It's up to you how much you want to spend for these rations, Cole. It can be as cheap as a silver pull or as much as a gold pull.
I've got money. Let's do a gold per.
A gold pull. Alright, these will be very, you know, not going to be just hardtack. You know, get like some sausage, a bit of dried fruit, you know, stuff like that. Still, you know, not going to spoil anything like that, but it'll actually taste like something and you probably won't break a tooth. Fantastic.
Getting 10 of those, by the way.
And the other thing is your tail spike. What I had in mind for that is you will be able to make an unarmed attack with your tail. You can either use it as part of an action or as a bonus action, and it'll do 1d4 piercing damage. Right, we're kind of counting it as an offhand weapon, is how it's working.
Lay on tail.
He stabbed you by accident. If you get a nat 1, watch out, everybody.
Inflict tail.
You could take an eye out with that thing.
You know what? I'll put your eye out. If I could reach that high.
That's right. If you
No,
use it, it might be
just
on the
pick up the
ground.
kobold.
Really? We're gonna play through the kobold now?
Yes.
Yes, kobold punting. It's a favorite pastime. Anything else you two would like to do? Some rations perhaps for you, Shalashar?
It's times like this I wish it was a game, so I could just quick save and try and sneak into fucking Zap's tower. We need the book. He has a fucking book with everything from Matthias.
This is up to you two to figure out.
I think that's gonna have to wait.
How far is the spire that Jandar lives in
That
from here?
Shandar lives in. you folks. Oh, cool.
Is it within range of my my hearing?
Not quite. Like it's close, but it's like just out, right? So the way the spires are, you have Jandar's tower, which is right next to Jandar's place. Then you have the guard barracks, then the Grumpy Hornet, and then the market.
So I need to go partway down one of the bridges to get in range.
Yeah, you pretty much need to either be at Jandar's tower or the guard barracks.
Okay, then I'll just as soon as we grab the stuff from the blacksmith and the rations, I'll basically sprint halfway across the bridge kind of thing to get in range.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna send him a message.
You could also walk onto the water if you wanted that also. Alright, anyways. What would you like to say in your message? You have 10 charges of this thing, by the way, if you recall.
Yep, and I've only used 2. Got a letter from Matthias. Need to go deal with... sorry. Got a letter from Matthias. Need to go out of town for some work. Can you send the book that I left at Zap's tower onto Black Hollow?
I'm not sure. I don't know if he'll give it back. You might need to talk with him, or I can make an inquiry. It might take a couple of days, and we don't really have a lot of people going to Black Hollow. But I could look into it, I just don't make any promises.
If possible, that would be probably the best for us. He said he wanted to look into it to make sure that we weren't malicious, evil, anything under that umbrella.
That means usually you're gonna get summoned back to have another conversation. He likes to do his own inquiries.
God.
He's
Well-
rather quick though. Maybe you should stick around. A day or 2 for it. You don't really want to miss it. Worst thing you want to do is be seen as running.
Unfortunately, time is of the essence.
Okay, well,
If you,
good luck then.
thank you. Well, I'm gonna look down at her. I think I'm in trouble.
As usual, then?
Zap is kind of a psychopath.
Yeah.
He might take us leaving town to do the job as me running. And he might...
Coming back.
No. The letter... Read the letter for you. Inflict heroics. I'm pleased to hear that you have arrived at Faepon so promptly, and thus your payment is made with a bonus to reflect the effort you put in. Unfortunately, I must press that you keep this pace and swiftly deal with Bowler by whatever means it takes to pacify and secure Faepon in the woods beyond. Things in Milscar grow sour with each passing day, and have reached my ears about discontentment growing in Black Hollow. I request that once you finish with Bowler, please return with great haste to Milscar, or find your way to Black Hollow and give me some insights you could offer me. Basically, once we're done dealing with Bowler, if we don't die, we are not coming back.
Wow. Maybe
So-
you should stop upsetting powerful wizards then? I mean, it's just like a suggestion.
Yeah. Yes, but alternatively, he could be less of a zealot. Regardless, we're losing daylight. I want to scan around and see if I can see any of the mercenaries from the group.
Nah, the
I'm
other
going to-
mercenaries?
Yep.
Standing on this.
While he does that, I'm going to take 10 minutes to cast Unseen Servant.
Okay. You can make a perception check, but
25.
25. You don't see them, but you can definitely hear the sound of like chatter in one of these spires not so far away, kind of moving
Raucous laughter.
across. Yeah, it sounds like they're probably back at the Grumpy Hornet. At least you can hear the sound of music coming from there, as well as, you know, a couple of voices drifting off. Everyone else though seems like they're starting to settle down for curfew.
Okay. Alright, Kerr. You can ride Mr. Fluffykins, right?
Yeah?
Okay, I'm gonna need to get a horse.
Okay. Give me a second here. Take out a piece of paper, scribble down a note on it, put a gold piece on the paper, and fold it all up. Then I whisper to the Unseen Servant. Take this to Archmage Zap. And I send that thing off its way.
Okay. What does it say in your piece of paper?
We require walnuts. Signed, the Fae.
We should require. Okay. Fantastic. Alright, and with that. Consider it done.
Oh my god, I hate you. I didn't know you
I
could
have a-
shitpost in D&D, but here we are.
Oh, I have a plan.
Alright. Anything else you guys would like to do? You're gonna go find a horse, or what's the plan?
I'm just gonna go down to the stable.
Down to the stable. Alright, I want to quickly jump over to Arod and Assy, and then I'll get back to you two. Arod and Assy. At this point, it is also getting late in the day. Bolo's address was rather late, you know, with the sun starting to go down behind him. And as it finishes up, everyone's sort of moving about, you know, starting to get into their own thing. Now that they're not waiting for something, though, this place actually seems like it kind of takes on a bit more of a life. Person goes back to serving meals. You see other people starting to gather up the kids, as well as a couple of people that are starting to light fires and stuff around this area to, you know, keep some lights going. Bolo's men that came out with him are starting to funnel back into the cavity as you two are just kind of standing farther at the back of this crowd, watching as everyone kind of breaks apart to do their own thing. What would you two like to do?
We are trying to find Maz and Thorak.
You're trying to?
Yes.
Yes.
I can get a perception check from both of you, or one of you can roll with advantage. And I believe
I'm
you two.
gonna-
Advantage.
I'm gonna help him.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'll roll with advantage.
Okay. And you two, I believe, are currently like arms linked, and Assy was like scratching a message onto the inside of your arm.
Well, I'm glad I got that advantage because the first one was a nat 1, so
Nice.
the second one is a 19.
A 19.
Double nice.
Nice save.
You do spot them. They're actually relatively close to the gates to the cavity, the fort itself, and it seems like the two of them are actually coming out from these gates, and they've like moved off to the side. Thurok has his pack down in front of him, and looks like they're currently digging through it and also doing some preparations of their own.
Right.
Shall we?
Shall we? Let's.
So we're gonna start heading over there
Okay.
with purpose. I believe would probably be the best way to describe it. I think.
With purpose.
Smiling. You know,
Say that again. With purpose, but what?
smiling. You know, like what?
Smiling?
Like we're
Friendly?
intentionally going to them, or at least like I'm moving there. Was like they're intentionally like, oh, we're going towards you because we know you and we're friends. Yeah.
Alright, so you guys start moving through this crowd with purpose, you know, as friendly as you can. And definitely, Thuruk does like notice you guys' approach, kind of like glancing over his shoulder and sees you guys. And he kind of like flips down the top of his pack and like pulls the drawstrings on it. And he like turns to face you guys and goes, "Hey."
Hello, friends.
I wanted to thank you for that soap because it's quite nice. I noticed
The what?
the medicine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maz, like, you know, at this point, you know, gives you a, you know, a hand up as acknowledgement. He goes, thank you, I'm making myself. Don't have much more on me, though, so make that last, young lady.
I'll do my best.
This, Thuruk speaks and goes, this seems a little awkward. Is there a lot of pauses in this conversation?
I glance at Arod. Just wondering what you guys thought of Bola's announcement. We didn't realize all of the orcs were getting involved as well.
Did you guys find what you were looking for in the meeting?
Got some answers. Currently heading off. Get back to the Stone Tribe. But yeah, there's quite a few orcs coming. You know. What do you guys think of it?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes next. Once the strength is gathered, there's no telling what we could do.
Can you make a deception check?
Yes, I'm actually pretty good at deception too, so I'll take that.
Well, persuasion if you mean
18.
it. 18?
Oh, well, I didn't mean it. No, it was an 18 on the die. It's a 23.
And then he actually, like, upon you saying this, he kind of, like, loosens up a little when he goes, well, you'll be glad to know it's actually why we're going to the Stone Tribes. Deal's been made, so I'm gonna go, let them know they can come join.
Well, that's a very exciting news. I'm very happy for you guys.
You know, we tried the other place, started out Fay Pond, didn't get what we wanted, so Bola was the next option. Seems like a good enough guy, wanted to give us what we want. So,
Of course.
I want to watch Maz while this is being said. Like, is he... What was his reaction to saying that, like, they tried Fapon first?
roll an insight check.
I actually have insight. Too many fucking dice in the way. 19.
19. Maz doesn't seem overly interested in the conversation, to be honest, as you guys are having this. He's more like looking at other people, and he's kind of like, you know, straightening up his robes a little bit and like leaning against the staff. He seems like he doesn't really care one way or another. He's just along for the ride at this point. You know, seems like he's, like I said, he's bored with it. He doesn't have much vested interest one way or another.
Yeah. Can I get closer to Maz while Arod is talking to Tharok?
Todd?
Oh.
How would you like to do that? You know, they're not like standing on top of each other or anything, but like, do you want to like make it obvious, or like what exactly, like what's your
I'm gonna make it as
like?
subtle and casual as like I was standing over there and then I speak up and suddenly I'm like right at his elbow.
Okay.
Like, I don't want anybody to notice that I've made this movement.
I mean, like, they're going to notice, but you know, as long, yeah, you can move closer to him.
I mostly don't want Tharok to notice right away. And I'm gonna say, like, quietly, like, mostly just so Maz hears me. I find it a little odd that a man devoted to medicine has decided to align himself with someone so deadly.
Make a stealth check for me, just for fun.
Just for funsies?
Just for funsies.
Okay, so I don't keep nearly dropping these. Ooh. Ooh, that's actually gonna be pretty darn good. Got +6. 21.
21. Maz like jumps. Like, let's see you next to him. Jesus Christ. Holy. At this point, like, you know, Thurok also takes notice and he's just, he just kind of shrugs at you. He's like, I don't know what you mean, ma'am. Just, you know. I'm sorry. Thurok speaks again. Is this going someplace? If no, like, we have to get going. We have a schedule to keep.
Well, we don't want to keep you gentlemen more than we have to. We appreciate your time, though.
Okay. Well, you two stay safe. And he just kind of like looks towards Assy, who's like crept up on Maz and scared the old man. He's gonna
Innocent as shit.
pick up his bag, sling it over his shoulder. Have a good night, you two.
You as well. Have a safe journey.
I'll start moving away from you guys. And he's gonna like lean down and say a couple of things to Maz as they're making their way away from you two.
Well, that was productive.
Yeah, actually, we definitely know that, what we saw here is gonna be, like, half of what they'll have.
What now? Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and send a message to Cord.
Probably a good idea.
Let them know what we found out so far.
How easy does it look like it would be to slip into the cavity?
Make a perception check and tell me how you want to check this as you go about. Like, you
I
just
wanna
looking
look
at it
over-
from here?
And I want to try to appraise it the way I would usually appraise a good score. The way I was taught to. Not just, like, in the sense of, oh, like, when I was running with these thieves, they showed me this, but also in the idea of, like, I've learned bits and pieces about, like, oh, well, if this filigree piece of metal is like that, then it would be easy to grab and pull up.
Well, I'll say it like this. It would take you a while to get a good appraise. You know, if you want to, like, stake it out a little bit, walk the grounds, or, like, are you just trying to, like, stand in one area, look at it, you know, like, how long do you want to spend going over this place? And what did you get on your roll?
A little bit of a walk around while he's talking to Cole.
Okay. And what did you get for your roll?
14. And this is perception?
Yes. Or investigation.
I like the sound of investigation. That's 16.
16. Alright, I'll let you know. What do you want to say to Cole, A-Rod, as you see Assy just kind of like moves away from you and they start sleuthing around?
I'll make sure I just keep an eye on Assy, never breaking eye contact or like eye line with her. But I'll send a core, doing fine at the cavity. Bolar's gathering strength, moving east within a few weeks.
I reply back, okay. New contract. Assassinate Polar. Time sensitive. We're on our way.
I'll just send back. Understood. We'll be here.
Okay. Assy, as they're having this brief conversation, you do your best to kind of walk around and look over this place. Looking at it, just double checking everything that I wrote. Okay. looking at it, there's a bit of a fort in the back with 2 taller towers that are able to see over these walls. The structure in the back doesn't seem overly large or overly thick, you know, like it's not like a gigantic place or anything like that, but you would imagine there's quite a few rooms in it. Besides that, there's some sort of area between the walls and this fort. Looking through the gate, you can make out what probably is an actual stable. They have a couple of horses in there, and the wall itself is decently tall. You know, we're looking at about 7.5 feet tall. You know, not like insurmountable or anything like that. But it is like a dome, you know, a half dome that comes out in front of this mountain fort. So you guys could climb the walls, given enough time. Roll a d20 for me. Make a general intelligence check.
General intelligence. 13. Fuck.
13. During his speech, you're aware that Bola's there. There's at least 3 archers, and then there's at least 10 other people that you saw armed with like swords, axes, spears, shields, that sort of thing. So you know there's at least 15 people in this place. At least.
So there's Bola, how many archers?
You saw about 3 or so. You know. So you know there's at least 15 people beyond that. Beyond the walls. Walls,
Okay.
climbable. And then, like I said, there's a decent enough area, big enough for, like, you know, a stable at the very least. But you're unable to really see much more beyond that. So, does that answer your question?
A little bit.
Okay. With that, you return to A-Rod, seeing that he's kind of where you left him, but he definitely was watching you this entire
Yeah.
time.
Oh, I assume he would be.
In a non-creepy way.
No, in a definitely creepy way.
Only a little bit. Find any weak spots? Anything good?
Nothing great. Fuck.
Well, I got some great news too.
What?
We got a new contract.
Oh?
Yep. We're here. We gotta take out Bolar. It's time sensitive, apparently.
Just like standing in a room full of his
If
guards.
he's gonna say, we gotta take out Bola, I'm gonna say, yeah, we do have to take.
Well, I'm looking around. Is there anyone eavesdropping on us?
Now that you ask.
By the way, I'd like to look around.
Yeah, no, actually will.
We need to take Bolans out for his walk later tonight.
I don't know about so soon.
John,
But
go romantic walk on the beach.
Yeah.
Don't mind the armed guards.
Don't
I
mind those.
assumed as much.
From where you guys are, there aren't too many people, like, by you, as you guys, like I said, had to move closer to the actual structure itself, the walls.
Yeah.
So, like, you guys are definitely, like, off by yourself, but there are people, like, you're in clear view. There are people, like, watching you, but, like, they're
Yeah.
not, like, you know.
It's more like us. Look at those two over there. Like,
You can make a perception check if you want, though.
yeah, sure, why not? 17.
17. Yeah, like, no one seems to be keeping their eyes on you, but there is one guy on the wall that you do recognize based on the bones on his hands and his black hair, as well as you can make it like the tattoo of a snake on his arms. You recognize this fellow.
Okay, as who?
Your father.
Great.
You know, it doesn't seem like he's noticed you though, but he is here, and he is on the walls with a bow, and he's like looking out beyond. He seems to be the only guy on the wall. Besides that, you know, you can hear the sound of like some muffled conversation on the other side of the wall, as well as other people out and about the area. At this point though, the sound of children has died down a bit, and you mostly just hear like people calling every once in a while, you know. Everyone's trying to prepare themselves for the night. No one's really paying you guys too much attention, though.
Well, our friends are on the way too.
I don't like. I don't like most of this, you know?
Feels a little off.
Yeah.
Trust your gut.
I'll like slide up real close to you and I'm like pressed up against your side from like ankle to shoulder. And speaking like really quietly. I don't like the fact that these orcs are going back because they've made a deal. I don't like the fact that we don't know what's inside. How
There's
much
a
do you
lot of-
trust me?
With my life, you know that. There's a lot of unknowns right now, though. I agree.
How
Best
smart
thing
do
we
you think I am?
Fairly smart, but I also know that you're a bit eager. I feel like we should wait. We
I
need backup.
kind of
on
hope
this.
there's a way that we could get Maz or Sorok or both of them to help us. And set them on a path to fix whatever mess they had with Bay Pond before.
I
don't
think
know what
that's
they
in the
want.
cards.
But maybe if we can catch them outside, we can spike without worrying.
I don't think that's a wise idea. I know you want it, but I just don't think it's in the cards right now. We have way too many unknowns. We're in hostile territory.
Exactly. If we talk
have-
to them, we might be able to get them to tell us what it's like inside.
I don't know. They seem pretty in a hurry. I feel like if we poke around way too much, we're gonna arouse suspicion. Not to mention, and I'll glance up at the wall with the archer. My father is here.
So all the more reason to at least get to the trees until the others arrive.
Or we could just keep a low profile here at camp. They're coming straight here.
I suppose.
They have
Okay, let's do
food,
that for a little bit.
they have a crowd to blend into. We'll fit right in. No one will notice two more.
I suppose you have a point there. I'm gonna go to a room for now. Find somewhere to set up for the night.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you two are planning to hang around here, find an area, and set up some lodgings for yourselves.
I'm planning to do something else.
Okay.
The first one is like find a room somewhere, right? The second involves my familiar and a note.
Okay, you left your familiar off with your horses. How would you like to go about searching for a room, or do you want to write the note first?
I want to find somewhere private. I'm looking for like, because this is mostly like tent city, right?
Yeah, it's basically a camping ground. You guys are at a camping ground in front of a fort. You know, everyone is basically living in tents. The place serving food is out of a tent. You know, there's just a couple of posts hammered in here and there that people have used to anchor ropes to make lean-tos and other such structures. You know, so even looking at this, you would understand there isn't really a place for lodgings.
Yeah.
There's a couple of places selling canvas, and you could get that and like construct your own thing. You could probably even get help for that, but there isn't like an inn or like, you know, vacancies.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find somewhere a little bit private and write a note.
Okay. Easy enough, you just have to step away from everybody else.
Yeah, some nice dark corner.
Move up
for
to
my-
some
for
trees,
myself.
not too far away, and start penning your note.
Do I remember any part of the writing, like a little poem story piece that we had found in the
You tell me. Do you?
cave?
Did you write it down? Do you?
I
You don't have keen mind. I don't need to tell you nothing.
don't see it in here, but like I don't think I wrote that down. God damn it.
Make it up
I
on
have
the
notes
spot.
about the stuff in the cave being weird because it had, like, bits of stuff from all sorts of different tribes. I don't remember what the actual fucking story was. God damn it.
Womp womp.
Okay.
Does that change your plans?
Not that much.
Okay, so what will this penned note say? Oh, you can type it to me if you want. That's up to you.
I need a moment to really think about this, okay?
Okay.
Um,
While you think about this, I want to jump to
gotta do
Arod
this
quickly.
Yeah.
Anything I need to know about you, Arod?
I'm just gonna be keeping a weathered eye on my father. Kind of maybe hanging around a little bit towards in the area, not to be seen though. I'm gonna have my hood up.
Yeah, I mean,
Just kind of. No, go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, yeah, I mean, how long do you want to keep an eye on him?
I'll stay there for about an hour. I'll
About an
see.
hour.
I'll actually try to monitor to see if I can see any shift changes.
Yeah, I mean, actually, sitting there for this long, you will notice that throughout the time, several other people pop up. You will make out probably about 8 distinct different faces over the course of this hour.
Okay.
Your father at some point seems like he actually is like talking to some people, but he's also like pointing. And you get the understanding that your father's probably higher up. He himself doesn't do any shift change, but he's definitely directing people. And like you even see at some point, he has a conversation, sends someone over, and it looks like he's sending people to relieve others.
Okay. Then that's it.
Alright. Assi, are you ready? Or shall I jump over to Shalashar and Cole?
give me a little while longer.
Alright. Shalashar and Cole, back to you two. As you have now had your little conversation, you've talked to Janda, you sent a note requesting walnuts on behalf of the Fae, and you are now making your way over to the Grumpy Hornet.
Oh, we wanted. Is the stable at the Grumpy Hornet?
Yes.
Okay.
There's others further out, but like the main one that you guys stopped at, and where you have seen Domon's carriage, is actually parked at that. And at this point, the horses are not tethered to it at this point, but the carriage is parked outside.
So we'll go there, and I'll just look for whoever's manning the stable.
Alright, you'll find somebody. Actually, at this point, you won't find somebody. The stables are just locked, so you know, like there's several stalls and the doors are all closed. And you can hear the sound of like horses eating on the inside, but no one is outside manning it at this point.
Is there like a board that says prices? 1 horse, 10 gold.
Not that you see at this point. So everyone's going to bed, I'm afraid. It's time for curfew.
You said curfew's at like 8.
Yes.
It's like 7:30.
Yep. Doesn't mean you stay there till last minute. At this point, you know, it's up to you. You see the stable is there. Just you and your lizard outside, and you know you need a couple of other people off in the distance.
Coming
definitely-
towards us or away from us, if they're the only people around.
It doesn't sound like they're coming towards you or anything. It's just, you know, you hear like vague voices here and there. You can roll a perception actually if you want, or a survival.
Ooh. Your dice is working well.
Tier 1.
17 on the die, plus, let's do it, survival, 21.
21.
Out of 4.
Probably getting a little like softer, a little bit farther away from you. You would even, like, with that, you could tell it's deeper in town, probably about 3 or so blocks away. Just to give you an idea of how quiet it is. You're hearing people's conversations carried to you from about 3 blocks away. Like, it is getting dead quiet at this point.
I slip underneath the carriage.
Okay. Shalasha, you see Cole.
Keep an eye out. I'm gonna start slicing through the axle. Not all the way, just like halfway.
Halfway.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just gonna just steal their fucking.
Oh man, that's a thought.
You
Should we?
says you have.
Wait, should we? I mean, between your horse and Fluffykins.
I think it'd be too easy to spot, which is the problem.
Okay, I start slicing.
Okay.
While he's slicing, I'm going to pull off my gauntlet and I'm going to start putting my boings to work. I'd like to try and finesse the lock.
I didn't say locked, it's just a couple of like pieces of wood down to like keep the stable shut.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yep.
I'll try and quietly. I want to be, since we can hear things fairly well from a distance, I'm going to be trying to do things as slowly and quietly as I can, without looking like I'm fucking high as shit. Creeping around.
Okay.
Are the saddles and
The tack? Yeah, you
Yeah.
could find it like it'll take a like it's not like right next to the horses, but it is in this general area that you can
Okay.
go grab some saddles and stuff like that.
I just need to find a horse that's big enough for me. One that seems a little bit more rugged, shall we say.
Bit more rugged. Well, at this point there's 3 horses within this stable. One that two that seem quite large. And you actually recognize, well, do you? How much attention do you pay to horses, Shalashar?
I am acutely aware of my surroundings.
Make a general intelligence check for me.
Shot. 18 on the die plus 1.
18 plus 1. You recognize these as the 2 horses that actually went racing past you guys the first time you ran into Domon's crew. Besides that, there's another one, seems lighter. The other 2 you would guess are probably like draft horses that are meant to like, pull the carriage. But there's another one that seems, lighter build. And besides that, saddle-wise, there's only 1 saddle off to the side here.
The draft horses would be able to pull it for longer, but I almost want the one that's a little bit more wiry.
It's still a horse. You're really not that heavy.
Yeah, like, it's basically like all my weight is my armor, but just for, like, in terms of endurance, because we want to get there as fast as possible. Yeah, fuck, I'll just take the wiry one in the saddle. I'll grab the tack saddle and
You got it. Make a survival check for me to get everything on this horse. Or animal handling.
survival with a 16 on the die plus 5, so 21.
21. Yeah, I mean, you've seen this done before. I don't know if like Shalasho is like an accomplished horse dude, but he's paid enough attention to be able to figure out how to get a saddle on this thing.
Saddle goes generally on the back.
Yeah. And soon enough, you do have a horse bridled and saddled and ready to go out at roughly the same time that Cole kind of, you finish with this axle. It's not cut all the way through, but enough that you think you'll fail sooner rather than later.
I'm going to grab a little hay. I'm going to hold it in my hand, and I'm gonna kind of try and gently lead the horse.
I mean, you could. You want to do it with the hay, or do you want to use the reins on the horse that you've put on?
I'll do it with both. Like, I'm gonna grab the reins. I'm just gonna try and give it a little bit more incentive, so it moves around less.
I mean,
so
it's a well-trained horse. As soon as you like grab onto it, it like starts following. Like whoever owns this horse, obviously has spent a lot of time with it. It's very, very responsive.
Okay, then I'll just grab the reins and I'll start leading it out. And after we get it out of the stable, I'm gonna close the stable doors again. I'm gonna drop the piece of wood there to keep it closed.
Okay.
All right. Are you done under there?
Yep.
All right. Let's try and get out of town before anyone notices. How dark is it?
Quite dark.
Quite dark? Okay. Then no, I think
we're
we'll just...
into like, you know, the part of the night where like it's mostly shades of blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about that point? You know, a little past dusk.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll just head to the north edge of town, and we'll probably, if there's a long way, basically take the path that's gonna have, it's most likely to have the less people.
Okay. You two can both make a stealth check for me.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to bother rolling at disadvantage, because that was a 2.
I got a 5.
Okay.
The horse kicks the stable.
You guys definitely aren't like the stealthiest people making it out of here, but like no one comes to tell you, you know, you can't leave. Like no one accosts you, but there are a couple of people that, you know, do kind of like, you know, peek their heads out of the doors, like cause like, you know, kind of. I'm assuming you have Fluffykins with you, and he's kind of being, you know, a little temperamental. You know, you haven't talked with him for, you know, 2 days here. He's a very intelligent creature, and he's kind of being a bit of a brat, shall we say, you know. He's like howling every now and again at you, or like whining. You know, he's very excited you're back, but it's definitely coming in the form of separation anxiety.
No, bad boy. Shh, shh, shush.
But eventually, you will make it to the edge of town, unaccosted, but definitely noticed.
Okay, I'll plant my foot and I'll swing over and get myself situated on the saddle. All right, is there anything else? I saw the map with where the cavity was. Didn't I?
Nope. You know, it's somewhere to the north.
Hey, Kurt, do you still have my map?
Oh, yeah. Root in my backpack for a moment. No, that's a no. Oh, there it is. Yep. There you go.
Thank you. So you are aware, I do have cartography as a skill, so I can read maps accurately.
Yep, you definitely can, especially this map, which is so lovingly detailed.
I want to find a place that is roughly north of Fey Pond, and something that might be considered like geographically as a cavity if it doesn't say. I'm assuming it's going to have something to do with the geographical location.
Alright, well, make a survival check with advantage.
6. So altogether that is a 17.
17. You can narrow it down to 4 possible locations to the north of here. There's a mountain range, including the one that you guys came off of, that stretches for quite a bit. There's another place where it breaks off and then goes into another mountain range quite a ways away. So yeah, you have probably 4 different locations that you could choose from. You can narrow this down to probably more likely 3, due to the fact that you know it is 1 to 2 days away.
I was actually going to ask, yeah.
But unless you were to get a bit more directions or something else, it's going to be a little bit of guesswork here.
I just got spaghetti.
You know, there's a decent valley, there's the mountain range, and then like I said, it splits, and then there's another mountain range that begins not so far away, where there's just kind of like a natural little pass that people usually go to enter into what is called the Oaklands.
Alright, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Bowler is an orc. The likelihood he'll be near these peaks, I want to say it's a little higher. He might be in that general area. Worst case scenario, we have a good ride ahead of us, so we have time to figure it out. I think...
Or we can do this. Flick the earring. A-Rod, we need nearby landmarks to where you're at.
There's lots of trees.
Yeah, there's lots of trees. I don't know what kind of landmarks do we got that I could kind of guide them in.
Make a survival check as well.
And the reason I was saying, like, figure it out is just so we don't use up all the uses of the earrings.
It's
50.
10 per day.
Oh, is it 10 per day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of uses.
I was like, if we only have 10, fucking use them sparingly.
What'd you get?
15.
15. You can give a little bit of direction. You'd be able to tell them that from Fay Pond, going north, it would be the northern mountain range, it would be the northern mountain range, and it would be a little bit south of the pass, you know.
Okay, well, I'll relay all that to them through the earring.
Yeah, it'd be enough that you're like 90% sure, like, this is where it is.
Okay.
You could even, like, you know, follow the main road if you wanted to at Shalashar, or you could also try to bushwhack it. But it's up to you guys.
I'm assuming bushwhacking will take more time.
It's easier to get lost. The main road would be a bit more direct, and it would get you there a little bit quicker, especially as you do have 2 mounts now.
So, Kerr, I imagine that we were already heading out. Like, we didn't just stop at the edge of town and check.
No.
As we get closer, I think we take the main road up there, and as we get closer, we skirt maybe into the bush a little. Try and keep activity down a little lower. See if we can come in from the side.
Flank them. Always flank them.
You want to flank an entire encampment? Sure.
Yeah, why not?
It's going to be a long road ahead, and
Solid plan, honestly.
I hope you got your stabbing tail on.
I make sure and tighten it a little bit. Yep, it's good. At least it should be. I'm gonna need to practice with this thing.
I had a question.
I might have answers.
You seem to be morally upstanding, if you will. Is that accurate?
I make attempts.
Did you ever experience despair at taking a life? Like, have you ever looked back on it and questioned your own judgment?
Nope.
So once you're set
Not
on
one.
something, you're pretty set on it.
And I solved that problem by only killing those that deserve it. That way, I'm totally conscious free, or whatever you want to call it.
I
Ethical murder. How about that?
I don't know if you could consider it killing, but I remember the first person I doomed to die. I was on an archaeological dig. There's a temple just along the coast in Yun by my hometown, and something happened. Some of the stones were shifting, and everything started collapsing on themselves. So we start running down the hall through the main set of doors, and this kid had to be no older than 15. He got his leg stuck, and he was trying to get it free. And I was young, I was stupid, I panicked, and I pushed past him, and I left him to die. There was screaming, crying, begging, and then a crunching noise as one of the stones collapsed on him. You've never had one of those?
Bone Daddy got dunked.
Not that I recall, no.
I already know where the other two's moral lay. They're morally ambiguous. I just figured you were the most upstanding one of us.
Sounds like if you had stopped to help, you would have lost your own life, and
That's
not
how I
much point
rationalize
in
it to
that.
myself. But you never know. Maybe it could have saved him. It's an old memory. He's been dead for better part of 650 years. Kind of dust in the wind, really.
Yeah, that seems like it's kind of so far in the past. It's not really something you should bother worrying about anymore.
You're not wrong, but I don't know where along the way my morals kind of turned, you know? Like, was that the turning point that I started becoming more accustomed to death? If I had saved him, who would I be?
Well, it's not that death is really a bad thing.
It's not the end, I can tell you that for certain.
No, it's awakening into the real world, more like.
It is a cycle, it is part of life. But there's such a fine line. There's this weird juxtaposition between life and death. There's this weird calling between the two. At what point do you say that it's okay to take someone's life? Like, how personally do you gauge that someone is deserving of death? You're effectively the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Is it fair for you to make all three?
Yes. Well, speaking for myself, but yes.
I don't know if my own... If I'm able to make that call, you know? Someone else might see it and see it as lesser evil. Maybe not deserving of death. But in my mind, they're already dead. They have no claim to life. Maybe it's just me getting old.
I think you tend to think too deeply about things.
You've been alive for as long as I have. Got a lot of time to think. You're at basically your half-life.
Am I?
Well, you said the kobolds only need to live till about 7? You're middle-aged, my dude.
DM?
Yes.
How much do I actually know about this maybe fact?
Make a history check.
I got that from you. You told me that kobolds only live to like 7 or 8.
Where's history? Oh, there it is. 16.
16.
Give the kobold a crisis.
You know enough to know that he is quoting you back to yourself. But you yourself, you're not too sure. You know, you've been in your colony for a little bit. You know, you had a couple of conversations. You've definitely known others that have lived longer than 7, you know, and you've also seen a lot not make it to 7. So you take the average, could be 7, but natural causes, you've met some as old as, like, you know, 15 or so. Let me look this up. Instead of just lying to you, never mind.
Actually, they can live up to like
They live
150.
for a long time. For quite a while. When you said 7, nah. You've known some as old as 150 even, the really lucky ones.
Yeah, about that. I don't actually know. I mean, kobolds tend to die early, but that's because we're small and things prey on us, and you know, we dig too deeply and mine collapses, but there's some that get pretty old. Like really old.
I almost wish I died a long time ago, like... It's weird to envy humans and their limited lifespan. They come, they do their thing, and they go. When you get this old, you see the passing of time, you see and experience the loss of so many loved ones. You're afraid to start making bonds with people because you're going to outlive them.
Then just make friends with people that can grow old.
Have you met other elves?
Not
They're
really.
assholes.
Just, well, yeah, I mean,
Casual racism.
As you two are having this
So are you,
conversation,
my dude?
just very quickly, I need to know, are you planning to take a rest at some point tonight, or are you planning to just push through the night?
I can, realistically, I'm just
Oh, I know
going
you
to...
can, but I just need you to tell me what you want.
I was gonna say, like, if my horse needs to rest, we'll rest. But otherwise, I was just gonna tie a rope to the fucking Mr. Fluffykins and just lead him. I can go forever.
Well,
okay
you'll
with
still get
pushing.
exhausted eventually, right?
Yeah,
That
but,
was
like,
mentioned.
I don't need to sleep.
Alright. Are you fine with that, Cole?
I'm okay with pushing it a bit.
Alright, in that case, Shulsha, you need to roll a 20 for me.
Just a 20.
Yep.
Oh, 20.
And then I'm going to jump back to Azzy, who I'm assuming has their letter finished.
Yes.
It's a 9.
A 9. Thank you. What does your letter say? Where's it going?
So, I take a few moments before I start. I write a couple of pickup lines, mostly about creative uses of honey tongues and interest in stone totems. I screwed up all of those, though. Thankfully. And I write a note to Thorok and or Maz. I know you said you had made a deal with Bola, but I worry you'll find his promises empty. In truth, I do not know what you came looking for, but I came looking to help people. Thus, I would like to help you if I can. There are people, ones with ties to powerful people across the whole region. Would you be willing to try meeting those of Fapond again? If so, can we meet and talk properly? No half-truths or potted shit, but a real attempt to prevent a massacre. If so, tell my owl, and I'll find you.
Okay.
And I give the note to Dottie. And I have her fly off in the direction that Maz and Thor could come.
Fantastic. Can you make a perception for Dottie?
Yeet. With my Dottie stats. Ooh, Epidot. Duty 20.
Dirty 20. You write this, this was one of the first things you did after they left. So Dottie actually finds them not so far away. Was able to deliver this rather promptly, actually.
And the whole time I'm watching through Dottie's eyes, I've essentially like hidden myself halfway up a tree and like wrapped my cloak around myself and like blended in.
Alright, so A-Rod's staking things out, you're writing a letter, no one's preparing to sleep for the night as you're just watching through Dottie's eyes as it delivers this message. You see, it finds them rather quickly, and Thruk will actually grab the letter.
Yeah, that's the one she hands it to first.
And he actually, shows it to Maz as well. Do you speak Orcish?
No,
No?
unfortunately.
Well, they seem to be conversing in that. And then he flips it over and goes up to a tree and he writes a response, folds it up, and gives it back to Dottie.
Could Dottie like look over his shoulder to read what's being written in response?
What's Dottie's passive perception?
13.
13. You're able to make out a couple of words. It's his response is short, but from what you're able to see over his shoulder, it seems as though they are agreeable.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to get A-Rod and the horses.
No, go get A-Rod.
Well, mostly go to A-Rod.
You'll pretty much find him where you left him.
Yeah.
Posted up, keeping an eye on things. Looking handsome as hell in the light.
The hair, always the hair.
Yeah, always the hell. I'm gonna try and meet Maz and Thurk.
Well, you shouldn't go alone. I'll go with you.
Yeah,
What-
probably.
What did
I
you
had
say?
the earring still, I'd say, nah, it's fine. I'll just let you know if something goes tits up, because I can fuck off quite quickly. But yeah, I can't just message you right now, so...
I'll go with you. We'll talk to him together. What do you think you got through to him?
At this point, Dottie arrives.
I'm gonna check the letter.
Says, sounds good. We'll wait here.
Should we take our horses? I don't want to
Yes.
leave them alone.
We should definitely take the horses.
Okay. Let's see if I'm a complete idiot or only half an idiot. And as we're like going to get the horses, I'm actually going to use Didu.
Did you? I don't know what did you is.
Do. That makes sense.
Do.
That one? I know that one. Yeah, dun dun dun. For sure, for sure. Dun 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 dun.
Da-da-da. I just want to double check something really quickly.
Do.
Okay, so it's only a 15 foot. Okay, since his dad is here, I'm going to, like... I'm just gonna keep thinking in my head and, like... I'm gonna use Silent Image on A-Rod to make his tattoos less visible and, like, essentially, like, just unblemished skin across his face.
Okay.
And just a slightly different appearance.
Alright. What is the DC to see through your illusions, just in case it comes out?
It's my spell save DC, which is 13.
13. Alright, you got it. With this, as you kind of concentrate on this, as you guys go gather your horses and head on out. Actually, south from this
Yeah.
camp. Southwest. You guys find yourself moving through these woods. And anything I need to know about your approach? If not, you guys are going to be arriving at these two rather quickly. So last minute preparations I should be aware of.
Should I hang back?
You definitely can if you want. Oh, sorry. That's
Yeah, I was asking AC. You want me to hang back in the woods quietly, or?
I don't think so. I told
Alright.
him, no bullshit. No nothing. Because I'm hoping, with everything that's supposed to go down, we can maybe line this up to have the best possible outcome is what I'm hoping, okay? Because, like,
I'm with you.
think about this, okay? We are working with a very powerful man, right? Who wants us to, like, kind of deal with things up here. We know the two biggest players in Fey Pond, right?
Yeah.
They want us to deal with their little rat snake problem. We can go and talk to Mads and Thorak and even get them to tell us, like, the layout of the inside, even just a bit. We might have more success with this. And if we do, we can hopefully use that as leverage to get them a better deal than whatever Bola was promising.
I like it. Let's do it.
Well, that's the hope, you know?
Yeah, I hope it goes down this way.
Guess we'll find out soon, though.
Fingers crossed.
Alright, so having watched through Dottie's eyes, it's as simple as just retracing your steps now on foot.
Mhm.
They haven't gotten far into the woods, as Maz doesn't seem like he's the fastest of travelers. And you find them. Looks like they've moved a little bit from where you left them, and actually they've like pulled a log up, and Maz is sitting on it. Throok's taking his backpack off, and he's laid it against the side, and he's just kind of leaning against the tree. He actually has like his hands up by his face, and looks like he's like chewing his nails a little bit when you guys arrive. Upon seeing you, he takes his hand away from his mouth and gives you guys a nod as you approach. So, you said no bullshit, so why don't you start?
Well, apparently there have been a lot of people disappearing in around Fate Pond. There's a lot of gruesome murders. Like, what did that report say about the green snakes or whatever?
Which report?
The one about the missing people and the dead bodies.
I mean, there were gruesome murders, we know that much. Mutilated corpses.
Yeah.
Look, I never said that he was our first choice. Okay? So I'm not on his side. I'm on our side. Alright? And he's offered to help the clans.
And I'm hoping that we can use we can use some ties that we have to certain people to get a better deal for you guys.
Okay.
One that perhaps you could help us with an agreement of ours to get rid of Bola in the area. Even if it's just telling us part of the layout of there.
Look, the best. This put us in a weird spot. Our clan is asking for us back, right? I can be honest with you since you said no bullshit, so I'll tell you our stake in this, and you can tell me if you can help or not. We'll go from there.
Okay.
Alright? I'm here as a representative of the stone totems. Bola's been calling for help for a while. We've been looking to get back a couple of things. One of the elves in Fey Pond, I think he's even the leader of them, has something that's belonged to the stone totems, a stone of memories, if you will. It's very sentimental to our people, but was lost during one of the first wars with the elves. He doesn't see the importance of this thing, and they refuse to do what's right and to return it to our tribe. We've asked several times, including last time we were there. He still said no. So we went to Bola, and Bola said he'll get it for us. Matter of fact, he's sent someone today to go retrieve it.
And that's the only thing you guys wanted.
I mean, it's important to my people.
Oh,
It's not a small thing.
I'm not saying that it's small. I'm just that it was the only thing on your list.
Yes.
I'll get it back, and I'll get it back without anybody getting hurt.
Well, good luck. Like I said, they're on their way to get it now. I'm just supposed to go back, report. The rest of the clan is supposed to be here. Now, we could wait, but I am expected back relatively quickly. Our camp's not too far from here.
Okay. I swap a word on the arm a couple. Message Cole right now.
Alright, what do you want me to say?
Tell him that we're going to need the Stone of Memories returned to its rightful owner. That sounds like something that probably Jandar or Roderick would have access to, wouldn't it?
For sure, Jandar. Alright, I'll shoot him a message. Hey Core, are you still in Fey Pond?
At this point, you
Nope.
guys are currently... This is like during your conversation about the time I interrupted you two. About this.
We're shortly outside of it.
Need you to head back. We need something called the Stone of Memories from Jandar. It's very important.
If he returns it to the Oaks,
We can
Only
stop
till we
Molar
get
from
Molar's
gaining
head.
power.
Sal, rein up, hold on. We're supposed to get something called the Stone of Memories.
What the fuck is a stone of memories?
I don't know, we're supposed to, like, go talk to, what's his name, Jandar.
The person that we specifically left the town, making sure he didn't see us because he
Yeah.
told us not to be hasty.
Yeah,
Fuck no, I'm not.
apparently it's important.
Well, that sucks. We are on a time limit. We do not have the ability to waste more time as is.
I
What?
just hand the earring over to you. You tell him.
I feel like it's like you fucking call waiting. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is a stone of memories?
It's important to some people here. We can stop Bolar from gaining support any further than he already has. He's already sent someone to get it himself. This could get messy.
We got a letter from Matthias. We have to kill Bowler.
I'm aware of that.
Then why the fuck do we care about a stone of memories if we're just gonna take his head off?
It can.
although it's all allies and we're trying to make friends here, not burn the entire province down.
It's better to make friends than enemies, and we have the chance to make some very good friends.
We were specifically told by... We were told not to be hasty, and then we got the letter and immediately left town. He's not going to be happy that we left town, especially after curfew. We can't turn back.
Sal, is this just Assy trying to get into bed of an orc? I mean, you... yeah, just a thought. Maybe you want to ask them?
We're on our way. Sharpen your blades. Click.
Understood.
I hope you actually said click.
He made a clicking noise at me, but
Must be some weird young thing.
he keeps doing that. Anyway, I don't think we're gonna have the support we need here.
It's okay. I'll still get it done.
Get that dick. Hell yeah.
I'll make sure that we get this for you.
Dorg at this point, like, crosses his arms over his chest. This is what I mean. Good help is hard to find.
Yeah, well, good thing I'm really good at hiding, huh?
So, what, you want to go back there, then come back here?
Well, I'm going to get the thing they want here, go back there and tell them if they want it, I want the stone. And then I'll come to you guys.
So we're supposed to just wait in the woods for...
You can go back to your people. But give me a chance.
Alright, well,
Don't tell them you've made an agreement with Bola.
we'll go. You'll find us through the pass of the two mountains. We're directly into the Oaklands. You guys don't show up. About 5 days, though. Ilrog's going to march.
Understood.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright.
Is there anything you could tell us about the inside of the cavity? I've counted at least 15 men. The walls are easily climbable, but
We've
I
seen
don't know
shift
anything about
changes.
what's inside.
I'm not going to go too far, but there's a lot more than 15 in there. Looking upwards of 40, maybe 50.
Okay,
Great.
we'll assume 50 then at least. Do you know?
That's all I'm saying. You didn't get me my stone, you made a promise, so I told you their numbers. That's more than fair.
I agree.
Yep.
We know more than we did before.
Well, I mean, we know, like, what, 35 more things than we did before?
Knowing is half the battle.
Roughly 40.
The other half is extreme violence.
They're saying this Rook is going up, put his backpack on again for the second time this night. You guys, have a good night. We'll see you guys later. And as he has that cough mask, like, bashes him something to drink. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna
Okay.
head off into the woods again.
Okay, we sit down, we wait for them. But we gotta figure out how and when we're going to do this thing.
Let's start scouting it out.
Yep.
See what we can see. Monitor some more guard shift changes. We'll try to see if we can sneak in during a shift change.
Yep.
Alright. And here is where we are going to take our 15-minute break.
Yes.
So I will see you guys back here at 7:50, and we'll probably be jumping back to Shalshar and Cole as they are making their way towards this place. So,
See you guys shortly.
Boy. If you cast a creature that's submerged in a liquid, the spell carries the target to the surface of the liquid at a rate of 60 feet per second.
I don't know what I walked into. What are you
What?
talking about?
For water walk,
Yep, you can bring things to the surface.
yeah, but it says if you target a creature submerged in liquid, brings up to the surface at a rate of 60 feet per second. It doesn't say anything about stopping. So presumably it launches them fucking 60 feet in the air.
No, it launched them at that speed to the surface of the water.
It just says carries the target to the surface.
To the surface. Doesn't say launches them.
No, but that's the thing.
To
Like
the
it
surface.
doesn't specifically say it stops momentum or it
I'm
stops momentum.
telling you, it would. It would get to the surface because it says to the surface. But with that in mind, if you guys are ready to get back to this, we can.
Why can't I just catapult something into the fucking
Because
atmosphere?
for that you need the spell catapult. Duh.
We'll spell over a 3rd level spell.
Yeah.
Deal.
So you guys good to go?
You
Has
could,
been
however,
running
give
yet?
them bends.
You
Just
yes,
banish.
you could give them the bends if you were DBD diving. Alright. So now Assy and A-Rod, very quickly before I jump back to the other two. Anything I need to be aware of now that you've had your conversation with Tharuk and Maz?
Nope, just watching ship changes now.
And you guys just camping out in the woods here?
No, we're doing recon.
Okay, so you wanna go back and kind of look around that place?
Being as sneaky as possible. And I feel like we've got good practice at this.
Alright, in that case I will get back to you two in a moment or two. Cole and Shalashar, as you two are moving through. Now, first thing, as you have now been on a horse for a little bit, I want to give you some details about this horse that you have stolen.
Okay.
For instance, it does have saddlebags. If you want to, fuck with those at all, you let me know. Besides that, it is a very nice saddle, and it is definitely, like, you can tell this horse was, like I said, it's wire and stuff like that. It's definitely made for speed. It's a very, very well-maintained horse and stuff like that. Right? And it does have some saddlebags.
I'm just gonna check the saddlebags to see if there's anything left in them.
Yes. One has some rations in it and stuff like that. The other one is stuffed with papers and like rolled up scrolls.
I'm gonna start reading.
Okay. You pull out the first one. It has an official emblem from Black Hollow. Same with the next one and the next one after that if you want to start breaking these.
Crack one.
Alright, crack it open. It has an official address. This seems to be some sort of carrier horse. The first one that you crack open is from Darius Ozman. And it is actually talking about, do you want to keep reading? Let's begin with that.
Yeah.
Alright. It has some official addresses, and it is actually putting a bounty up, looking to solve some murders that have been occurring in and around Black Hollow.
Okay. Everything in the saddlebag was just all from Black Hollow with the seal, right? So it's presumably all of the same.
There's quite a few. There's some that are rolled up scrolls. There are others. If you were to go through this, it definitely seems like this is a courier that you've taken. But there's also some personal letters. But definitely the majority is from Black Hollow, and most of them have the emblem of Darius Ozman. And you know that because it has these two crossed O's, and this one is signed by Darius Ozman.
Okay. I'm not gonna crack open the rest of them.
Okay. Do make an intelligence check for me.
You got it. Oof. 13.
Right. You have heard this name before. He's one of the other councilmen running against Matthias. This isn't a nobody that you're reading the personal mail from.
I'm gonna take all of these. I'm gonna stow them in my personal bag.
Okay. Cool.
Did he just commit a federal crime?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys
I
are now
like him.
officially horse thieves.
Does this make them highwaymen?
Yes, exactly.
Mail fraud, stealing horses, horse snapping.
No,
There
horse
was
isn't.
no mail fraud.
I think it's like
was
mail
not
fraud.
That is not fraud. That is theft.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
We could make it mail fraud.
All
I
I know,
don't the can-do attitude. I mean, what? Sorry.
all I know is I'm giving this mail to fucking Matthias.
Alright, now, besides that, as you guys are making your way through these woods, following the main path, at some point you do hear what sounds like some very loud noises off to the side. It sounds like roll a perception check.
Absolutely.
Oh, you help action, I guess. Is that what I'm gonna roll?
19 on the die plus plus 8. So 27.
27. It sounds like stones being shuffled around and moved.
Grinding, placing, dropping, more grinding.
A lot of grunting.
Nice pooping.
Maybe a bit of swearing as well. So you guys are, like I said, you are following the main path, but you are not far from the mountain range. Probably about,
Does the voice sound familiar at all?
What'd you get again?
27.
27? Let me double check this. Not really. It sounds Orcish though. Whoever it is, it's definitely an Orcish dialect, very kind of deep, gruff sort of voice. Maybe a little familiar, you haven't met too many orcs, but you can tell there's some
speak
orc
Orc?
off in the woods shifting some rocks and grunting heavily.
Okay, I do speak Orcish for what it's worth.
No, okay.
Nope. Don't recognize it. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Alright.
We're on a time crunch, my dude.
Assie and Arod. Meanwhile, you two, as you are doing a little bit of reconnaissance and stuff like that, I will need perception or investigation checks. You guys can both roll, or one of you can roll with advantage.
I rolled
And
with
then-
advantage last time. Macy can take this one.
And what exactly are you doing?
Mostly just trying to make notes of oh, there's that guy there. This window faces that direction. Through that window, I can see this. This looks like it could be a possible path climbing up that wall, and it's between these two towers, which means that you wouldn't get a good line of sight on anybody climbing there.
Okay, so you're looking for ways to sneak in.
Yeah. And any clues that might be something where someone like Bola might be, like if there are more guards patrolling a particular area.
What do you get for your, I'm guessing, investigation? Because it's you.
Investigation. Ooh, 21.
21. The main thing that kind of strikes you is you're running these numbers through your head. And you're watching people, appear on the walls and leave. You've circled back a couple of times, and every now and again when you get the chance, you've found a way to peek through the gate at different angles and almost pie the entrance, and see what it is that you can see. You think you could probably maybe sneak in from the mountain, but again, that would be a dangerous climb, and getting down you would be very exposed. that would be the most direct way in if you wanted it. Besides that, just do the way that the town is and the towers above. They actually have very decent sight lines to this thing. You wouldn't be spotted from the inside, but you'd probably be spotted from the outside, as there is a little, a little tent town set up here. Besides that, the other irregularity that kind of strikes you is you're trying to place 50 people within this structure. And you're like, they're either cramped like sardines, or this is bigger than it looks somehow. Maybe it extends into the mountains, maybe it extends down underground, maybe it's an extra dimensional space. That are like, 50 people in this place? How do they live?
Okay.
But now it is definitely starting to get, later and later into the night. It's getting close to about 10, 11-ish p.m.
We should try to meet up with the others, don't you think?
I agree. Find anything good?
I mean, like, the easiest way to get down, like we were talking about, is like straight down from the top of the mountain. But like, that's dangerous as shit, right?
Remember how it went last time we climbed? Down a
Yeah,
sheer cliff.
but
Fuck
that
you
took
guys.
a long time, right?
Actually, A-Rod, can you make a perception check for me?
Sure.
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom quick.
15.
15. You notice there is somebody watching you at this point. But this is
Just-
someone, very strange, definitely doesn't fit in. They seem to be wearing simple clothing, and they have no ears. You recognize it as that one weird dude that was with Dormont during your first escapades.
Okay.
And he's just kind of like watching you guys. And he also looks
Well,
like
it's
he's
gonna be
keeping his eyes
super
on the
subtle
floor.
about casing this joint too.
Yeah. I'm
I
actually
imagine, like, over the years, we've practiced the art of, like, being subtle about this shit. Like, just hanging out, chatting, like...
I'm gonna see about maybe trying to blend into the crowd a little bit. Should I roll for that?
Yep, you can make a stealth check if you so wish. I thought he was still talking to Azzy.
Oh no, I'm sorry. How did I find my stuff? Oh. 26. So 26.
26. Pretty good.
Got a plus 10 my stuff.
Take this conversation, kind of move it to a more crowded area, where people are again setting up their things, Doesn't seem like everyone plans on going to bed tonight, as like fires are now being built and people are starting to gather and like tell like little stories and stuff like that. There's definitely a sense of community among these people. Everyone seems, rather close, living in such confined quarters. Asya, are you following suit?
Yeah.
Alright. Can you also make a stealth check for me, or you like, man, whatever?
"23.
23. Alright.
We sneaky.
You two are probably blending in as well as you wanted. But please, sir, continue that conversation. I just needed to make you aware of that.
I think we should probably try and meet up with those two. And start planning what our next move is going to be.
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. This is gonna be something. It's either gonna go extremely right or extremely wrong. If
Well,
it
I
goes
have some
wrong,
ideas.
we're gonna have
Let's-
like 50 pissed off bad guys in there.
Yeah, let's not go over this all twice. We'll go over it with them, and that way we can tell them what we noticed,
Maybe they have some ideas. Or some magic.
At this point, I'm hoping they have, like, I don't fucking know, 5 more hired swords to help us. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, this is gonna take some serious doing, but I have the utmost confidence in us. We'll definitely get it done, hopefully, kind of, sort of, a little bit.
I don't know. I weirdly feel like we're both outnumbered, but also there's too many of us. Because, like, if it was just you and me, we could sneak into most places, right?
Yeah, that's true enough, and don't get me wrong, I've thought about just going in with us two, but
There's so many of them.
yeah. That's the problem. There's no way we can take out 50. We can't even take out 10.
Not even 50 of them packed as closely as they've gotta be in there together.
Who knows what the layout is?
Circle chicken.
You've never been inside?
No, not here. This is all new to me.
What's the point of having you if you don't come with a home field advantage?
Well, like I said, I've been gone for a few years. Things change.
Let's go find a fucking kobold.
Is it weird I kind of miss them?
I really miss them too.
It's weird, right? Don't ever tell them we said that. We can never
Oh
let
god,
them know.
no! They can never know.
They can never know we said that, but
Can never
You
know.
know. it'll be just between us, our little secret.
Yeah, we'll just go sit off the road a bit and wait for them to come by.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright. With that, you two start, gather your stuff, get your horses, and as sneakily as you can, make your way out of here. What road are you guys going to? The one you guys took in, or to the main road?
I think the one we took, probably.
Yeah.
Or the one we think they would probably come down.
Well, I mean, then that would probably be the main road. Since, can I have the... We had to give them directions.
Yeah, actually, you're probably right there.
So we'll wait by the main road.
Alright, in that case, you two are going to get this description first, just due to the fact that the other two are still traveling at this point, as you make your way through these woods towards the main road. You eventually do find it, as well as what seems to be a cross set up on the middle of the road with a body on it that has had its arm split all the way down, separating the radius and the ulna. And hanging from this guy's neck is just a quick scribbled little message on a piece of wood that just says, "Go no farther, Bollard's lands."
Lovely.
Do we recognize the guy at all?
You think he was elf? If you want to get closer to him, you can get a closer look.
I'll have Dottie swoop by and look through her eyes.
Alright. He was elf, Seems like he didn't have the best end, though. Looks like his hair at this point is, matted to the side of the face with dried blood. Looks like he's been up here for a while. Same with, his sleeves were ripped and they kind of, hang in tatters from his elbow. And based on, the expression on his face, this guy did not die a peaceful death. As well as, his eye seems to have been swollen, and on top of that, just due to the fact that he's, fastened to this thing, you can see that his bicep is, swollen with blood. It looks like he was left up here still alive, and after they, split his arm, it all pooled in there.
Oh, boy. Never changed a bit.
When we're done, I want to cut him down.
If anyone gets to kill him, it's me. Oh, you mean cut this guy down? Yeah, we should definitely cut this guy down. Let's clear this place up.
Probably shouldn't do that now, though.
No, that would arouse way too much suspicion.
Yeah.
Do you two want to wait here on the road? Do you want to move further down it?
I don't think we want to move around too much more.
Yeah, I think right here is fine.
Meet at the dead body.
Yep.
Alright. After
Hide in the tree line.
Alright. I want to use your guys' stealth roll still.
Okay.
But after a couple of hours, the day does pass. You two might even want to take a rest if you are so inclined to do so. But about, everyone, mark off your rations if you do eat, as you guys will be meeting around noon, almost, on the following day. That you see Shalashar and Cole coming into view. Shalashar atop a new and shiny mount.
I'm gonna wave up. I'm gonna have Dottie like swoop by and lead them to us.
You guys can follow the owl if you want, that like swoops by you, seeming to get your attention that you would easily recognize. There aren't a lot of noontime owls doing flybys.
Not only that, but it's a green and orange owl.
Is it?
This is a big freaking owl with like
Inconspicuous.
a faintly fox-esque ruff around the collar and neck area. And like 2 foxy tails instead of owl tails.
Oh, so it's like
It's definitely a fey owl.
a fey owl. Alright.
A green and orange looking fey owl type creature. Like, this thing is noticeable.
You are accosted by this thing, and you guys can also now see this this effigy, this body that's been put up as a wooden element.
I thought you just referred to the owl as an effigy. It's
No.
that's fucking cryptic. Yep, we'll swing after Dottie and pull her.
Bola?
No, he said follower.
Got it.
Follow.
Got it. Sorry, I'm hearing things. Alright, you guys are once again united off to the side of these woods. You guys are
Been a while.
probably about an hour or so away from the cavity and the camp before it.
What
I
time?
know.
It's about
I
noon.
pull off of Mr. Fluffykins and I hug him and I like give him a little spin. Oh, little buddy.
Tight, squeezing.
I'm glad those kids didn't drive you crazy.
Her
They didn't
owl,
drive you crazy, did
tail.
they?
Oh, they did.
you were wrapped up in 450 feet of rope, and this is what you call tight?
Yeah, my dude, I'm
squeezing really hard.
that hard and I'll like carefully set you down.
All she knows is hard.
What?
Nothing, honey. Love you.
Why do I believe you're lying to me? That sounds
Good.
like a lie.
You would never do that.
So how's Stray Pond going?
I got kidnapped by the wizard.
What?
Wait,
What were
what?
you doing?
I was trying to investigate the pond. He took personal offense at it. So
And almost
he
murdered him.
used magic and picked me up from outside, carried me into his tower, made me walk through a bunch of circles, and then held me at finger point.
Okay, this is a lot to unpack, but we're gonna have to deal with it later, because right now we've got 50 people between us and Bola, and 50 people inside, packed like sardines in a castle, and then a tent city of a whole bunch of other rabble. Like, what, 100 or 200?
At least.
We got a little helping hand from the town. And go rummaging around.
Did you get hostile swords?
Unfortunately not.
Damn it.
I'm gonna pull out the
Why would you say a helping hand?
big crystal.
Well, it's pretty, but what is it?
This can give us all invisibility, everyone who touches it.
Yeah, well, that's something, but, like, it's gonna be hard for all 4 of us to touch it while we stumble through a castle of people packed like sardines trying to kill one dude.
Unless we can get in the back way.
There is no back
way. It's a mountain.
You see, what we have here is we have the cavity and a mountain, and it's like, boom, there. And then there's a tent city all around in front of it. You see what I mean? So you got like tent city, you got the cavity, then you got mountain.
You could try to climb down from the mountain.
route.
Yeah, but if we climb down from the mountain, then we'd have to go really fast, or else they're gonna be shooting up at us the whole time.
Yup.
Did you check for an escape tunnel?
We tried.
No, we've been
Didn't
trying to
find
be
much.
discreet.
Oh, here's your earring back.
Yes, thank you. I've been missing that thing.
We should go to camp. We shouldn't just show up. Well, are there a lot of people there?
Oh, there's tons. You won't be noticed.
Okay.
I was about to say, you will also notice that Shalasha would be the most heavily armored person, and Ko would be the only kobold in the
Oh,
camp.
okay, that's fair.
Everyone else is like, orcs, humans, and elves. And half elves and half
Hey.
orcs and
What
a
elf?
couple of dwarves and stuff like that. Yeah, but you're also wearing like black
No.
armor. Like
You two might
heavy
stick out.
armor, both of you. And it's like, like peasants and families is what they have.
Puts a fucking piece of, like, some hay on my head. I'm a little tipped
The
down.
heaviest armor you guys have seen is you saw maybe one guy with some splint bracers and studded leather.
Okay. So, here's what we got, okay? One, we've got Bolal planning to have an entire army watch over everything to the east of here, and I mean everything, burning and killing anything he comes across. In, 2 weeks?
Yep.
So, in 2 weeks, everybody's gonna die unless we get rid of him. And everybody probably next in line, because like what if they decide to pick up the torch? That's problem. 2, he's made a deal with orcs of the northern tribes, so unless we can give them their stone of memories in 5 days, they're going to join Bola and his men.
We have 5 days to kill the orc.
We are not killing them, they're actually nice people.
I'm talking about Bolar.
Oh,
Because in 7 days, Faepon is going to take it upon themselves to deal with Bolar.
7 days it's gonna be too late.
So we could let him amass the army, and as they start marching, we set a forest fire and just let that wipe out the army.
No.
I don't think that would work anyway.
How is a forest fire your plan?
It's just a thought. I mean, we're kind of outnumbered.
Well,
Forest fire kind of like evens things out.
Hardly. The last thing we need to do is let Bolar gain his strength.
we needed more allies, but I don't know.
Okay. I could go
I think the Maz aren't
in.
going to help us.
I could go in and say, hey, I'm a paladin, but I'm not like really satisfied with the power that I've been getting. I want to like follow you guys or swear myself to your gods or whatever service, and then I could just chop them down.
That is a solid plan for like getting in there, but I doubt you're going to like meet him right away.
Well, that actually gives me an idea. What if I were to do that? Talk about rejoining. Could at least get the door open.
We were asking about bringing offerings.
I think that actually might be the best thing we can do, because this thing, like holding the crystal, it's pretty big. We can fit a fair amount of people on it. I think if we get A-Rod to go in, make a sort of distraction by being there, the guards are obviously going to be... They're going to be waiting. How far did you get in his keep, his... whatever? Do you know where he sleeps?
We haven't been able to get in there at all.
We have no idea what the inside layout is.
But it's awfully small for 50 people, so either it's bigger than it looks, which is a problem, or they're packed in there like freaking...
Sardines, which is another
Sardines, yeah.
problem.
Then we'll go to camp. I'm a cleric. I can heal people. I'll offer my services as someone traveling. They're probably gonna have eyes on me. One of you two will take this. Go invisible, go sneak around in the castle, see if you can find where he sleeps.
It should not be me because my armor is like really loud if you haven't noticed.
What about if I go in following you, Arod?
Yeah, that could work.
If you two go together, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'll go invisible with him.
Yeah, and as long as you hold this AC, you can toss it into pocket space if need be.
That's what I was thinking too. I can easily get rid of anything that we don't want me to be found with.
Because my only thought is if we can sneak into his... If we can make a crude drawing, anything I've worked with maps a lot of my life, so I'm fairly confident in my ability to navigate a map. If we can find a way to kind of locate where his room may be, or any vulnerabilities, we might be able to exploit it. We can't attack head on. If there's 50 guards in there, it's not feasible.
I agree.
We need to assassinate him.
That is the optimal outcome of this. Getting him alone, getting him separated from his guards. Couple good shots in. And drop him like a sack of shit.
In case things do go awry, I do have some magic that affects a wider area. That it won't hurt any of us, but it'll be pretty detrimental to them.
That's something.
Shalashar, at this
Mhm.
point you hear a voice in your head. You recognize as Domon's. And it basically goes, "Hey there, host Steve. Got a wizard here asking a lot of questions. Where are you?"
I don't like going in here with just the four of us. There's so many. That's over
Backup
11
would have been
people.
super
I'll be
helpful.
inside of the castle alone.
I could set a fire remotely. That'll draw some out, maybe.
I'll reply when we're done discussing.
That could make it dangerous for you too, though.
You kinda gotta do it fast here. You got 25 words.
No one was at the stable when I showed up. Left gold on the ground. In a bag by the doors.
No, you didn't.
He doesn't know that.
What are you talking about there?
Well, I mean, he just needs to say this instead. He doesn't need to. No, actually, do you need to say it out loud? Do you need to
For
say
sending?
something out loud?
Yeah.
Then you do need to say it out loud.
Send you a message or both out loud, I believe.
I don't know. He's been like mumbling him to himself a lot lately.
You okay, Salashar?
I may have stolen this horse.
I have never been
Wow.
more proud of you than I am right now.
And
Baby!
you have us shit for being rogues all of the time.
In my defense, I was gonna pay for it, but there was no one there.
Oh no.
You get another message, and it says, "This dude's really mad. You might be in big trouble. I don't know what to tell him. They can't find your gold. Where the hell are you?"
Who are you even talking to?
The mayor and the mayor's buddy.
Tell him to send us some sellswords.
Yeah, we need backup here. Pronto.
We weren't supposed to be here. That's the problem.
Why not?
We were told specifically to not be hasty about the bowler threat.
Well, we're not. That's why we went here first.
And that's why we're here a day after being told not to be hasty to assassinate
Is
him.
this what you're replying with?
No!
I wasn't supposed to be here. Is that the message you say?
I'm gonna pull up my map. What areas are west of where I am, north of Fay Pond?
North of Fay Pond, the closest one would be Rose Keep. After that, you get into the Oaklands. Besides that, if you were to go like a week or so up, you'd hit Wild Vale. But Rose Keep is already like on the. So like, what happens is you have like Fay Pond, then you have one mountain range here, another one here, the little pass that goes into the Oaklands. On the northern mountains, on the northern side, you have something called Rose Keep. But even that's like a ways away. We're talking like almost again, close to almost a week's travel.
I'll reply. We're heading towards Rose Keep. Had something to look into for Matthias.
You get one more message from Jandar, and it goes, I'm out of spells. I'm out of uses. Zap's really mad. Good luck. You get another message from somebody else. And in your head it begins with, look here, agent of the Fae. I don't know where you went.
I
will find you, and I will bring you home, and you will go back to where you belong. Count your days.
AC,
Yes.
how does your pocket thing work?
Oh, well, I don't know. It's just something I've been able to do most of my life, honestly.
Is there amount of space? Is there amount of weight? Is it endless? I need to know these very specific things.
At first, I could only put like little things in there, like a tool, and then I'd misplace it for like months at a time, and then I'd find it again, right? But now that I've gotten older, I've gotten better at it, and I've been able to stretch it out. So now I can put like a couple 100 or so pounds of shit in there.
How much do you currently have in there?
Let's find out! And I start pulling things out.
So you
I pull out ink and parchment and quills and cards and notes and ball bearings and string and copper bells and candles and crowbars and a bucket and a hammer, and I don't have any opinions anymore. I have traveling clothes and common clothes and oil and rations and tinder box, water skin, rope, blocks of bedroll, handfuls of pocket acorns to throw at people. I've got a super fancy pillow.
I'm just like holding it like a small bundle of fucking scrolls, just kind of waiting for you
I've got
to
Serenity's pants that I stole. I have a beard comb. Oh, and by the way, I forgot about this. And I pull out this little toy vicar that I got at the museum. All of those days ago.
You sure
I
can.
was gonna hide it in your shit one day. But here, and I hold it out to you. As this little toy vicar, and when you drag it across the floor by a string, the sword arms go waving in circles.
Please put these in there.
I put everything back, including these new letters. So where did you find these?
They may or may not be correspondence from the Black Hollow Council members' personal courier.
Did you read any of them?
One of them.
Oh, you! I am just so proud. Look at you. You're a certified hoodlum.
Fuck you.
Stealing horses, reading mail. Oh, I'm glad we're rubbing off on you.
And at this point, I take one of the pickled bear eyes out of my bag of pickling, and I spread it like jam on a piece of hardtack, and I'm munching away on that for lunch.
The wizard who kidnapped me thinks I'm an agent of the Fae.
Are you?
Speaking of which, with your natural perception, looking back, you
It's just a
see a
wizard.
figure flying up into the sky above the town, like just soaring like a rocket straight up. And that is where we are going to end today's episode.
Which town?
Fapon, the one you left. You just suddenly just see a human figure just fly straight up.
I'm hiding. I'm crawling into AT's pocket dimension.
This is where we... Seems a good enough spot as any others. Thank you guys for joining us.
No, I want to keep going.
Yeah, but sadly,
We're
we're on a time crunch today, and we're out of time. So we will pick it up next week, hopefully, or if not, then the week after. But thank you guys for
Probably
joining us.
it's gonna have to be the week after because I'm gonna be out of town next week for Thanksgiving.
All
You're
right,
a
there you
slut.
have it. 2 weeks from now,
God
we
damn
will
it.
hopefully see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. Hope you have a good day, and as always, bye-bye.
It's probably a good time since I just blinked out my contact.